Jam escapade. Not feeling quite as good as I was yesterday. I need a shower. Too much positivity in the air. God knows what. Pollution. Radio, I don't know, but.
Young,
God.
young,
What?
what's up?
I'm busy. Try again. Yeah. Um, Need a shower really. Gonna do a second batch. These are basically foraged ones. There's a mixed colour of plums, so it's batch two. The first plum jam was with elderberry, and this one is just pure plum. It's mixed. Oh, Hermione again. Look who's back for part two. Yeah, we've done quite well with yesterday's jam, and one of the jars has already found an owner. We got 2 jars here plus another one in the cupboard at the old flat. We'll swing it round and we'll show you the end product of yesterday's jam jar anyway. And here they are anyway. As you can see, there's a load of crap on the jar. That's going to need rinsed off. But it's a very, very dark purple, rich purple. Very rich purple colour. But then again, it's probably the skins of the Victoria plums and especially the elderberries. And it was very nice indeed, very nice indeed. So we've got mixed batch this time. So this is basically urban foraged plums. We've got at least 4 different varieties in here, maybe more. Names, I don't know the variety names, but we got yellow ones, we've got purple ones, red ones, we've got yellow with pinky orange spots, we got gauges, we got all kinds. I honestly thought that by the time I stoned them, they're too small, so I ended up having to just squeeze the stones out. I think there's 1, maybe 2 stones in there that I accidentally put in. I've added a little bit of water. Now it's just a case of heating it up again and then do the rest, but it's just pure plum this time, and I've done it before, so it's basically 2025's version of this Bottle Digger's Delight 2014, and that was pretty much the same from the same place, a variety of plums, and then I made it into jam, so it's exactly the same as what that batch was. And I've got 5 jars. I'll be lucky if I need 5, to be honest, 4, possibly 4 and a bit, but now we're just going to fire it up and then I'll try and put it on the stand without creating a complete disaster. And again, boom. Right, so that's on. Also, where is it? This is bigger than my popcorn holding dish. Someone threw this out. Someone threw this big stainless steel dish out. I'm pretty sure it's stainless steel. I'm not sure. I did have a oh dear, got this magnet, and it is sticking, so it is steel as far as I know. If it's stainless steel, that's good. But someone threw it out. It's very heavy, very heavy. A nice big heavy one, and they done their best to destroy it. It looked like it had literally been brute forced, because one of the handles, they tried to stamp on it. They tried to stamp on the handle and make it unusable, but no, the other one's got a lid, but not this big one that I just found. So we've got that big one, and then we got the popcorn one, I do actually wonder what's in here. Have I fucked up? I've got a feeling I might have fucked up. Oh my god, there's even more. Right, I might have to slowly add these in. This is my popcorn storage. Right, I'm going to have to literally cut these up and add them as I'm going. I'm going to get on with it. I forgot I had them. I forgot I had those extras. It's the same arrangement as yesterday, basically. So yeah, right, we've got these as well. These have already been washed. I'm not going to fuck around. I'm just going to squeeze the stones out and add them as I go. So I thought I'd done it all, but I haven't. Oh boy, this is almost going to double the amount that I've got. And I think some of these might have come from Lloyd Park, because there's Lloyd Park. I went for a walk through there, and on the way out Lloyd Park North entrance I found a plum tree and it was dropping, so this is gonna pretty much double the amount I have. So we'll probably need them 5 jars, and if the worst comes to the worst, I'm gonna have to use another storage jar. And I mean, this is going to take time. I didn't realise I had extra ones. I was wondering where my popcorn storage pan was, and then I realised it's in the fridge, and oh no, I've got more in there. But yeah, this is basically part 2 of Plum Jam. Last year it was later in the year, October. I'd done crab apple. Also, while I was on the way to the tram stop, Fermium's after a fly or something, on the way to the tram stop, at the side of the road, saw a baby grape plant just growing at the side of the road. You know, where you got the sidewalk or the pavement, and then you got the edge of it, and there's a baby grape plant about that big growing at the side of the road. And I was going into town. I thought, shit, when I get back I'm going to try and dig that up. I came back via that direction again, but I had to go to the old flat, to the greenhouse, and basically I had to get a bucket of compost, a bottle of water, and a trowel, basically, to dig it up. So on the way back I managed to successfully dig this baby grape out of the side of the road and pot it up. So hopefully it's got a lot more good compost to grow in, so with any luck we'll have a second grapevine. This one's going to be unknown. I'm not sure what it's going to be. It may even be that it's just a desert shop grape that actually happens to have a seed, so it may actually be a desert grape, like frozen grapes, or it could be something completely different. I don't know, but I'm guessing that it's just going to be a normal everyday green or purple grape. So I'm not even messing about, I'm just squeezing the stones out. I'm not gonna it's already starting to boil a bit, but I've literally had to add more. Right, where's this wooden spatula? I've already added water to it, and I'll probably have to add some more. it's a bit inconvenient that I found extra ones that I'd forgot, which is going to increase the size of the batch, and also the cooking's going to be a bit skew with. Well, thanks for joining me again. It's part 2 of Plum Jam. I mean, I did mean to do it, and also didn't mean to do a second video, but it's a bit later. I started yesterday's at about 2 o'clock, I think it was, in the afternoon, and now it's gone after 7 p.m, so by the time this is finished it's going to be about 9. It might be after that. And then I've got to go to the old's flat, and I've got to have a shower, and then a cousin of mine wants to meet me tomorrow in the either the Kenley area or Caterham area. But these are completely different to the ones that I got from the allotment. The ones in the allotment, the big purple ones with the blue bloom on, you could just cut them in half, open them up, take the stone out and rinse it. But these, you can't cut these in half because they're just too liquid inside. Both making jam, yeah, we've both got the bug, haven't we? Yeah. Where? That one's gone for a dive. Yeah, I suppose it's that time of year, things have to be done. I'm going to have to give this another stir in a minute. But yeah, this is... Oh, I didn't realise I had more. Figs are rather more exotic than plums, I think. We're getting there. I don't know, I'm trying to be as quick as I can. Might have to raise the camera slightly as well if I don't accidentally dash it on the floor. But as I said, I'm not exactly feeling quite as good today. Oh, I'm a little bit sore. Well, it's not even a soreness, I don't know what it is, just it's a bit annoying, to be honest. Look who it is, it's Fermi. Fermi. It's the boy. Yeah, I've also got a glass of some of my home wine. I mean, it tastes like wine. Yeah. But the issue with home wine is it doesn't have quite the body, and there's always that undertone taste of yeast. It's just the way it is. But it's been in the bottle a number of years. It still tastes like red wine. I've made wine myself as well in the past, quite a few times. I think one of my most successful home wines, or made my own wine, it was dandelion, flower and rhubarb. Dandelion and rhubarb, and that was lovely. Sweet, bitter. It was everything at the same time. Right, it's bubbling away nicely. That's about half of these extra ones done. Now I need to move my bloody arse because I've got to keep stirring this thing. I don't know about add a bit more water, maybe a tiny bit. And I've also got to keep stirring it. And then I've got to add the sugar, and I should have enough. If I don't, it'll have to literally be emergency sugar. I'll have to take it from the jar. You can hear it bubbling away now. But thanks for joining me. Part 2 of Plum Jam. But this is mixed plum, and it doesn't have the elder in it. The elderberries in it. The elderberries went in with the purple Victoria plums, and they certainly did change the appearance of the jam. My odd job man, carpenter and painter and musician friend Tony Patience, I gave him some yesterday. I'm going to have to turn that down a little bit. Gave him some yesterday, and he loved it. He thoroughly loved it. And I tried some of it myself yesterday, of course, and very good, very good. I think the ingredients that are in it really did round it off. There's a lot of sugar. We've got the plums, but I think because of the elder in it, the elder having that slight sourness and creaminess, seemed to negate some of the sweetness. Plus the fennel, which gave that aniseed flavour as well, and it was just overall, that first batch was just lovely. To be honest, you can hear it bubbling away now, so I think I need to turn it down a little, just a little bit. Wait! Cool. That's a bit juicy. Almost ending up in my eyeball. But yeah, this is more the other ones, yet more yellow ones, yellow plums. And these either come from Lloyd Park, a mixture, and there was a tree in Addiscombe not far from the Olds flat. I think they might be mainly the ones from Plum Tree not far from my Olds flat, to be honest, but another lot of yellow plums. It's going to be mixed, and I can already tell that the red and purple skins have changed the colour of this mix already. It's already looking to be like a ruby colour, not as dark as that, but it's going to be more of a purple ruby colour. But of course I'm still adding yellow to it. And it means that the sugar's going in this one a little bit later than yesterday's batch. It's taken some time. So you're watching me basically squeezing a load of plums. We're getting there, we're getting there. And I'll go in the living room in a minute and I'll get that young grape plant that I rescued from the side of the road. Be interested to see what the fruit is like on that grape, if it actually find anywhere to plant it and it survives. I mean, it's going to have to go at the Olds flat, as far as I know. But this does get your hands very slimy fingers. We've got 2 people watching at the moment. I know one's Hermione. I'm not really the kind of person that can schedule a video or a live. My life just doesn't really work like that, to be honest. A lot of people, they schedule a live video, but I don't think I could do something like that. My life is a bit too erratic for such things. Nah, not that one. It's a bit far gone, that one. Out of all of them, only one, I think, 2. So we're in the gaff. I'm not sure where Fermion disappeared to. can hear Silly Billy in the background. You can hear Silly Billy in the background. The budgie girl. Yeah, we're both making the jam then. You're watching me making the jam. Yeah, well, what, you're so many figs or so many plums? I think we both got a lot, to be honest. These are really juicy. Some of them are literally, I'm at risk of getting it in my eyeball. But as I said, this stream is a little bit later than yesterday's. I'm at least 5 hours behind the one I done yesterday. I'm still squeezing these things, so. And then after I've done these, I'm going to put the sugar in. I think we may have had 3 on, but now one's been talking. Because we had 2, so it might have actually been 3 people watching. It's 0 now, but oh well. But almost there. We're almost there. We've got about 20 more. We've got about 20 more. I need to wash my hands again as well. Trying to be as quick as possible. There's going to be a lot in here. I actually thought there'll be less, but that second lot of plums is definitely going to give us at least 6 jars worth, I think. And I've got the bar stool here as well. Yesterday I struggled to sit down, but I got the bar stool here from Elephant and Castle in London. There was an estate in London, whether it was the Ferrier or Haygate estate, I can't remember the name, an estate at Elephant and Castle. And there used to be a pub in the area, and I think it shut down, and this bar stool was from the pub. And when I found it, it was all smashed to pieces. And I took it home with me from there because I was getting pictures of the graffiti, basically. Taking pictures of graffiti at Elephant Castle at the time. And that bar stool sit in my gaff for about 5 or 6 years, waiting for me to find someone to turn a pair of jeans into a bar stool. An old pair of J&Co. Now originally I wanted to use the blue jeans because the blue jeans had the better patch. I had some J&Co jeans with patches. The blue one had the better patch, but unfortunately for some stupid reason I threw them out. Right, we're through, we're done with them. Oh, and this is the stones from the last lot. Oh, there's so many. God, you could make a whole plum orchard with that. I could spread them around. Oh my God, what a mess. Literally just go out there and spread all these plums about. And then give it 10 years, maybe a bit less. If the world is still here, people will be able to, you know, look at all that. And this is all the stones out of plums. Pretty much a bag full of it. There's a couple of pounds of just plum stones in there. Mum's old oven. I'm lucky in the gaff. I've still got gas. People are screaming to get their gas back. They were lied to by the government, and the shit's going to hit the fan, and people are going to be in a lot of trouble when they haven't got any alternative to electric, because they're trying to push this electric agenda so hard, and it's all about control, really. food starvation. Right, finally we're finished. This is by no means a yellow. This is by no means a yellow jam. This is not going to be yellow, despite having the majority of yellow plums in it. It's definitely going to be a ruby colour. Right, I'm turning this down again. And then I'm adding the sugar. Right. So yet again, we've got the with pectin. We've got the sugar with pectin. So this is going in. This chair needs wood gluing, to be honest. Right, that's all that in, and this is less. Considering what I put into the batch yesterday, this is actually less, because this wasn't even a full bag. This was 3/4 of a bag of pectin sugar. Although we got a full bag of normal, we'll have to see. Should be alright. I think, like I said yesterday, the reason it wasn't actually setting properly was because there was too much moisture in the mix. There was too much water, and I had to wait for the I had to basically wait for the extra water to evaporate. Now this is going to be here a while. I'm at almost 7:30 in the evening. Honey for the figs. Well, I've added the sugar, and it's not making the same sound as it did yesterday, because yesterday when I added the sugar, you could literally hear a change in the sound of the mix. Either I've got to wait for it or something slightly different. I don't think it's anything negative, but it's a lot of different plums in here, and they're not as solid. The Victoria plums were easier to cut, and they went in as halves basically. A big oven. My oven isn't particularly big, to be honest. I've got a gas oven, but it's not particularly big, to be honest. It's a Creeder, a grey Creeder. It's not a small one, but I mean, there's different levels in it. I suppose I could put extra in there. It's on different levels, but this is going to have to be left for a while, because I've got plums in here that have been added eventually over time. And we've got this extra bag here, so I am going to use the fennel seeds again. I think I'll probably use the fennel seeds again. Cane sugar and honey, yeah. It is a specialist type of sugar. It's got added pectin, Pectin. I'm not sure if you can get it out there, but I mean, this is regular granulated sugar, basically. Let's see if I can lift this up a bit without disaster. That's a bit better. Right. While this is going, I'll go get that little grape that I found at the side of the road that I potted on. There you go. And this little grape, and this was literally growing at the side of the sidewalk, down the edge of the sidewalk or the pavement. this leaf is a bit buried. I'll have to get this out. And I've potted it on, but I put it in a deeper pot. So I don't know if I'll plant it immediately. What I'll do, I'll probably leave it in this pot and then give it till the autumn, or maybe plant it early next year. But lovely red stems on it. I'm not entirely sure what it's gonna be. All I know it is a grape. We'll have to see what variety it is, but you never know. Plant it, it might make a good plant eventually. Be interested to see what they actually look like, the grapes on it, considering it just came from down the edge of the sidewalk or the pavement. Crazy, isn't it? And here's the bar stool. Sadly, it wasn't the blue pair of jeans. It wasn't the blue pair of jeans, I'm afraid, but this was the J & Co jeans that I turned into this bar stool. Basically 1998, 1999 jeans, and a shop in Beckenham managed to upholster them onto this chair, and I was quite happy with it. So I'm sitting on that today rather than in some kind of weird basket. Right, but it needs wood gluing, and as you can see I'm a bit lower now. So jam part 2. Again, I'm going to turn it down a bit. I think I'm going to add a bit more sugar. And that should be enough. So it's 3/4 and 3/4 again. And stir it again. But of course, the longer that I boil this and stir it up, it's slowly turning more and more of a ruby colour. I know there's at least 1, maybe 2 stones in there by accident, probably 1, due to my confusion basically. And you can tell it's a lot quieter now. It's silenced itself with the extra sugar. But I'm gonna be here a while, I think. And that extra sugar should stop it from splattering too much. Give myself a couple of minutes to sit down. Oh dear. Oh boy. I really need a shower tonight. I really do. It's what? Monday, is it? Yeah, it's Monday. Everybody loves, hates Monday. Drinking my home wine, basically made from our father's black grapes, these black Homburg or Hamburg grapes. We got the grapes from Rudesheim on the Rhine back in the 90s, and my father got the black grape, black Homburg, and I got 2. I got one called Elvira and another one called Weiss Tafeltraub. Eventually they both kicked the bucket and just left my father's one. Half a jar of honey, and I do have a bit of honey, and it does crystallise eventually, but I'm not sure I'll put it in with the jam. I'll definitely get some of the fennel seeds. Yeah, the fennel seeds. A couple of minutes, I'll put some of the fennel seeds in. But here's the bottle anyway. And as you can see, it's a vintage bottle. This is one of the bottles I found at Red Robin Bottle Tip, and it is cork top. Well, no, it isn't cork top. You look at the top here, and it's actually crown top. I got that wrong. It's crown top, and it's a light sea green colour. And this is one of my home wines. As you can see, other stuff was added to it to improve it, but all it's done is really stain the glass inside. And it's actually a early 1930s Contrexville mineral water bottle. It's actually a mineral water bottle from Contrexville, which I'm pretty sure is a French spring mineral water spring. Right, Contrevill, Contrexville. Oh dear. Oh. I have had lunch, thankfully. I went into town, I went to Pepe's Chicken, and I got peri-peri hot chicken with nachos and cheese. Bed of nachos with peri-peri chicken and cheese, and nice and spicy. It was very nice. Normally I get the quesadilla in there, but I've noticed the last 2 or 3 times that for some strange reason the actual quality of the quesadilla has dropped slightly. Don't know why. It just doesn't seem so big and full, and it's in 2 halves, not 1 half and then folded. But I got the nachos with the chicken, and it's very nice. I also got a burrito as well, but what I've done, I've left the burrito at the Olds flat, and when I'm done here, this is going to be a while. I'm going to go to the Olds flat, and I'll probably have the burrito when I'm at the Olds flat. I've got a can of drink there, and I'll need to have a shower, and then tomorrow I'm meeting a cousin. Slightly estranged cousin from the father's side. He's older than me. I'm hoping now that he's slowed down a bit, because him and his mother were a little bit of an issue years ago. But I'm gonna see my cousin Billy Dunnett, basically, and we'll see how it goes. Whether it's in Caterham or Kenley, I don't know, but it also depends how I'm feeling tomorrow morning. I don't see any problem, but if I'm at the Olds flat, it just means I could get up slightly earlier and I can leave earlier. We'll just have to see. Right, fennel seed. We'll put that aniseed flavour in again. It worked very well with the last batch of Victoria Plum and Elderberry, so we're going to put more in this, and hopefully by the end it will have softened up a bit. And if they're going to complain there's little bits in my jam, yeah, about that, be thankful that someone's made it. We've got a lot of moisture in here, a lot of moisture. So I'm probably going to have to add more sugar. And I'm going to be here a little while. But we have got another quarter bag of sugar here that I can add. But yeah, you've seen the bar stool, the story behind the bar stool. It came from Elephant and Castle in London. There was an estate there. They were due to demolish the estate at Elephant and Castle, and there was one particular person that just wouldn't leave. He wouldn't leave, and for that reason the development was stalled. And he had pots and all kinds of stuff everywhere, and plants, and eventually it was just overtaken by the graffiti writers, naturally, because it's a derelict estate. So I went there to get pictures of the graffiti, and while I was there I did actually notice a couple of the old vintage IKEA Druva pots. Now I'm a big fan of the old Druva pots from the mid to late 90s. They came in 3 different colours. You had a light blue one, a light green one, and you had like a golden brown colour one. Had 3 different colours of Druva pots from IKEA back in the mid to early 90s. Now IKEA only came to the UK about that time anyway, the early mid 90s. And I've always liked them. Earlier years, my mother used to put her Phalaenopsis orchids in the Druva pots, and my mother did love the Phalaenopsis. And IKEA had them the first. When we went to IKEA, it was them that started bringing in the Phalaenopsis orchids in the 90s, and started this whole infatuation with the moth orchid. And they're a struggle to keep going now, and I think it's just the climate again. Cut them smaller. What's smaller? Your figs or something. You're talking about your figs. Yeah. So Elephant and Castle. That's where I got this bar stool. And I've showed you the grape that I rescued from the side of the road, and we got this big pot, very big, very heavy. It's got contacto induction, so maybe it was meant for electric. Not impossible. It may have been meant for electric hob, as it's got contacto induction, yeah. But one side of it, they've done their best to deliberately damage it. That is the culture in this country. If something gets thrown away, whether it's a big heavy pot like this, or it's a stereo or a Hoover or something like that, a TV, especially electrical, if it still works, if it's a stereo or TV or appliance that still works, they'll deliberately cut the plug and the cable off of it, because they don't want you to use it, basically. And this is a very similar scenario where they've deliberately tried to break the handle off of it. Tickle Tetra! Tetra has found me again! Part 2. Part 2 of making more plum jam. But this one is pure plum, and it's mixed varieties of plum that have been foraged, basically. I started it and then realised I had extra plums in the fridge, so I ended up having to squeeze all these stones out of extra plums and add them gradually. Oh boy. So we've got this, and there's another. This is a smaller one. This is the one I put my popcorn in, and you can see this. You can see the difference in the size. Look at the difference in the size of these, and the one on the left is so much heavier, so much heavier. But I couldn't make jam in something that shallow. Definitely not. It's a specific use, but it's good to have something like that. Christ, it's a lot more splattery than yesterday's, I must say. This concoction splatters a little bit more. And it's gradually getting darker and darker and darker in colour as well, which I'm surprised. There's no, I mean, it won't have the deep dark richness of the first batch with the elderberries, but it's really starting to turn a deep purple colour, not midnight black like this almost, but a very deep purple, and that's despite the majority being yellow plums. Mother-in-law's old pot. The mother-in-law. That's Rosie upstairs, graffiti writer, mouthing off on the balcony. Looks to me like Rosie's moved into the building. I think I'm gonna add the last of the sugar. That'll do. And then it's a case of just keep stirring and waiting for these plums to break down. And again, been silenced yet again. All that bubbling and turmoil has been reduced to silence. Anyway, if you didn't see the finished product from yesterday, look at that. Look at how dark this jam is. This is plum, but it's got elderberries in it as well, and it's almost midnight black. You can tell this purple, and you can see the fennel seeds, or broken up fennel seeds, but it's such a rich colour. Very, very, very dark, almost black in colour. And I've got two of them here. I don't think I've got enough. Oh, hang on, no, I've got a third one there. So I've got three here. I gave one to Tony, and there's one at the Olds flat. The one at the Olds flat, I'm probably going to give a jar to Mikey and Fran at Arena. Tall pots, yeah, I've used tall pots as well when I've been to the bottle dump, and I've found the 1920s 30s jam and marmalade pots, and they've been in coin minting condition. It's just a case of cleaning them up as spiffing clean as possible, and I've actually put the crabapple jelly in those. Like I said with this little one, the big ones have been moved on, but I've still, even this was a vintage jar, and I've not even touched that. It's been there since last October, and there's no mould. It's still fresh. The sugar in it, the sugar content has kept it fresh all this time. And this is the crabapple, and I've yet to get scones or cream or anything just to try this, you know. But you look at the jar, and it's sorry, the others. It's literally like a world road map in an alien world, you know. Yeah, you look at all the detail, all the crackling on this jar is just incredible. These long lines, it's like miniaturized neighborhoods in the city, in a multiverse almost. That's a very deep way of describing it, but that's what I look at it as. This could literally be a ring world in another multiverse on a jar. But one day I will eat some of this. I will eat some of this stuff. And it's not like something you get in a shop like this ethnic strawberry jam. It's still good. But when you make it yourself, you enjoy it better. And Tony, he told me yesterday that the jam that I gave him, yesterday's batch, he said that he liked it even better than a particular posh brand that he was getting or knew of. It was literally, the jar was about that wide and this tall. I forget the name he called it, but he said that it was literally up there with the best. In his opinion, my jam was up there with the best. And I just gave it to him. But that's what you do. You give this stuff to your friends, or you put it in the larder. It's not exactly the same as canning or bottling, like pickled onions or something like that, or tomatoes or something like that. But I mean, jam is jam. It's still something that you're keeping on the shelf that you can use later. Probably pre-war. Pots, pans for this kind of thing. Pots and pans. And still got a load of crap from the last batch, and this is just the stones from the Victoria plums, the bigger purple ones. But there's no really any point putting these on the compost with all them plum stones. The others, the smaller ones, I've put them into a bag, but these ones from yesterday, may as well just put them in the bin, to be honest. Shove them in the bin. And at least that's off the floor now. I would like to know where Fermium's got to be honest. He's in the bedroom on the windowsill, and Esma Florine will likely be in the front room. Oh yeah, this is definitely a bit more ebullient than yesterday's batch. It's splatting all over the place. Got to watch myself with this one. Poor blimey. It sounds a bit different as well. Whoa! It's got a bit more of a high-pitched whine to it, vibration. Cool, blimey, it's a lot hotter as well. I'm definitely going to have to be careful of this one. Flipping heck. Oh, it's furious. It really is furious, this one. Look, it's still popping out over the front. God blimey. Well, I haven't got any more sugar left though. But I've got 2 3/4 worth in there. I don't think I've got any more in the cupboard. Which probably means I've got to boil off as much of the moisture as possible. It should be alright. Here's the boy. Here's the boy. Oh, here's the boy. Oh. Here's Fermy Wormy. My boy, my new boy, kitten boy. He's a lovely boy. Oh. Well, thanks for joining me for part 2 of jam making shenanigans. And the cameras, I've raised the height of the camera so when I'm actually back there you can see me, but when I'm sitting down resting I'm actually a bit lower, but not to matter. We're still a bit earlier in the day. Of course her morning is in Europe, so she's pretty much my time. I'm not sure about Tetra, whereabouts you are Tetra, but if I wanted to catch the main time for the Americans, I'd literally have to be doing a live stream from midnight to 2 o'clock or something in that region, maybe even later, because PST and EST, the other side, I'd literally, GMT, I'd have to be up from 12 o'clock midnight tomorrow to literally 4 a.m. and I just can't do that. I have to do a video or live when I can, basically. And this one is already later. I'm coming up for 8 o'clock now. It's still light, but I mean, I'm not prime time for the Americans. That is way behind. I mean, it's probably about 3 o'clock in the afternoon for them, something like that. I'm not sure, so we'll just have to see. But bearing in mind that I am slightly later than I was yesterday, who knows? Someone else might turn up. I don't know. They probably do know I'm live, or maybe YouTube isn't telling them I'm live, but we'll just have to see. Will I get through this home wine today? Possibly. Not that there's any alcohol quantity in it, to be honest. And I need to clean the bottle anyway. And they're getting on a bit right end there because I can see the cinnamon coming. And to be honest, I don't know if I'm going to get any more out of that. Look at how that stuff that I added later has actually changed the colour of the bottle. It's not great, is it, to be honest? The other bottles aren't like that. A blender in it. Put a blender in it. Right, let's give this thing another stir. I don't actually know. I didn't really pay any attention to when I started this, to be honest, but it wasn't exactly early. It definitely wasn't early. And it's going to need a lot more time. Whoa! It's definitely going to need more time because I've got to wait for all these skins to soften up like the last batch. And I've got to get rid of some of this moisture as well. Yeah, well, I think you're still an hour ahead of me. I'm pretty sure where you're located. I'm sure you're ahead of me by an hour, if I'm right. Oh, yeah, this is definitely a bit more furious than yesterday's. I can smell the caramel, literally. Potato! Oh, okay. Well, I don't know if you're still sticking around, but I'm definitely smelling extra sugar content, and I didn't notice that yesterday with the other batch. But I'm definitely smelling caramel in the air this time around, which is a bit strange. I can smell caramel in the air, so the sugar's melting. and burning slightly. I don't know why it should be burning. I can't add any more water to it because it won't set if I add more water to it. There's the skins. I think it's just a case of waiting. And yes, I probably should have left this plate in the fridge, but I didn't, did I? No. Because I didn't think about that. Testing plate, I didn't think about chilling a testing plate. Ah. Applesauce. You blended it up so that you were talking about the figs. Fig jelly or fig jam, you've blended it up literally. Yeah, yes on the time, so you're ahead of me, just ahead of me. Well, as you know, last October I made the crabapple jelly, but with that I literally got a muslin cloth and I drained it through the muslin. And last year I didn't even think I'd get as much as I did with that, you know. I didn't put them in these jars, I put them in traditional glazed pots. I put them in pots, glazed pots basically. So if I do a bottle dig, which I'd love to do one this year before it's too bloody late, it's always nice to find the jam and marmalade jars in tip-top condition. Binny D, you tell me something or other. Just got a message from my cousin father's side. Binny D. Sadly, I can't read it just now. But yeah, when I've done this, when this is ready, it's all cooked up and I'll have to leave it for about 2 to 5 minutes, something like that. And then I'll pour it into the jars. I need to get to the old flat and I need a shower. I don't need a shave or anything like that. I just need to freshen up, to be honest. Because this world, eh? Yeah, turn a bit lower. Yeah, but I need to get rid of some of the moisture. This is the thing. I need to get rid of some of the moisture. I can't really go that much now. I'll turn it off. Yeah. Where's my hairbrush? Oh, it's there. Oh, but yeah, I've put the yeah, I've put the fennel seeds in. Yesterday's one I put lemon in as well, lemon juice. But this is a different. This is literally a different mix of plums. There's a lot more variety, and some of them will be a bit more sour, some of them not so. Because I literally had yellow plums, black thorn type plums, deep purple plums that you break them open, they're like orangey red inside, like blood plums, tiny little purple ones, and even a few that were almost like green gauge. So it's all mixed up in the pot. The thumbnail will show you basically what the plums look like, and they're all in there just bubbling away. So I don't think I'm going to add lemon juice in this case. And I didn't add the elderberries either. It's just pure plum this time. Yogurt, yeah, added to yogurt. that's a good idea, really. But at least it's something that you can put into the cupboard and store for a few months or give away. That's the whole point, really. I mean, I've made vegetable soup on the stove recently. There's a glass of water here and some bread that seems to have kept a little bit of its spring. That's why I left the glass of water in there. So if it does evaporate slightly, it'll keep the bread a bit softer, not entirely, but maybe I'll have some toast before I go out. That's if I've got the butter here. I don't know. I might have taken it to the old flat, to be honest. The boy has arrived. Oh! Firmium Ludwig Stormerson. Oh, my boy. Take another look at this. I have not taken any notice of start and end. I'm definitely smelling a lot more caramel in this batch. Oh. I don't want to turn it down anymore, to be honest, but I might have to. In fact, I could probably do my first test on it. And the bottom feels a bit rough, so that is not the best sign, to be honest. Moving the wooden spatula on the bottom, it is a little bit on the rough side. So my thinking is the plums that I used yesterday didn't have such a high sugar content as these ones. These ones seem to have a bit of a higher sugar content. Their natural sugar added with what I put in, which is equal to yesterday. I don't think it's more, but these plums seem to have more of their own content of sugar, which means I'm actually getting a slight burnt caramel smell. I went out to the front, I can't smell anything out the front, so it's definitely in here. We've got a distinct caramel smell in the kitchen right now. The figs were good. Have you already had a taster? It's drinkable. It's not brilliant, but it's drinkable. You'll probably find that a lot of the stuff that's unnecessarily been added probably ain't really helped it, to be honest. And it just means that I can clean the bottle out now. That last little bit ain't no good. And there's quite a bit of sediment in the bottle, in the bottom. But as I said, it's a vintage early 30s Contrexville bottle, from pre-1932 mineral water bottle. I think Contrexville's in France. I only remember finding it in the one particular one particular dig. I really need to get back to Red Robin bottle tip and do another dig. He is so cute. He is so cute. Oh, the cat. Yeah, I suppose if I could fully charge my phone and do a bottle dig before it gets too dark in the evenings, it'd be nice to take the tripod to my local dump and at least start the whole. Problem is, compared to 2014, 16 and on, I mean, I hammered that site, especially the ditch that was there. I went down just a matter of inches into the ditch and I was coming down on ash layers, many underground fly tips. There weren't underground before, but there were fly tips dating from 1931, 1932. And it's strange because the whole site, you look at maps, the whole site used to be allotments. So at some point during 1931, 32, maybe it was the Great Depression period, something like that, maybe they were struggling to get dustmen to clear. It's like a modern thing as well, having a problem with the dustmen. And they decided that certain parts of the allotments they were just going to single dig them with a spade, a metre wide and a spit depth deep. And then they just fly tipped onto the allotments, and it just seems a bit strange really. Makes you wonder actually how much that site actually got tipped, or maybe it's just that particular corner that was abandoned. But I'm pretty sure that the section that I've dug at Red Robin bottle tip in the woods, the other side of the fence, they've got an apiary, they've got beehives, and that section where the beehives is, going up and a bit to the left, underground, it must all be bottles and rubbish and stuff like that. There must be a certain area of the allotments in that corner that if they went 2 or 3 foot deep, they'd end up finding bottles. Yes, the cat, yeah, Fermium Ludwig Stormerson, yeah. But this has pretty much been turned right down now. Right down, I can still smell the caramel on the air, and that wasn't present yesterday. I don't remember treating the heating any different today than I did yesterday. But I'm just guessing that the fruit's natural sugar content was higher in these batch than in the Victoria plums. Of course, it's a mix. It's a complete mix of different types, so it makes sense. They're a lot softer. I didn't split them open and they kept shape. I literally had to squeeze the stones out because the plums are literally almost liquid in any way when they're ripe. So it's going to have a completely different taste. It's going to have a more pure plum taste with caramel, and I did add the fennel seed again, but of course there's no added bonus of the elderberries. I didn't do that this time, but we can't be that far off, to be honest. How was it? 1 hour 14. Yesterday's stream was 3 hours. This one's potentially going to be a bit shorter because I didn't video me doing 3/4 of the plums. I already done all the plums. Oh, flipping heck. Just that tiny little bit there. That tiny little bit. Oh, I felt that. And it was smaller than a pinhead. Flipping hell. It's like a flipping mosquito biting me. Oh, flipping heck. Yeah. Ah. Right, I think we might be able to do first test now. This is looking good, to be honest. But then again, like I said, it might be because the extra fruit sugar. That's my guess. I need to move this bag of stones out of the way. And then yesterday's batch, we'll put that up here for now. So this is yesterday's batch. That's 3 out of 5. And we'll get the testing spoon. Yeah, and because I've got such a big variation in plums, it's likely to be like that. It's not all one particular plum like the Victoria, it's all different ones, so I've got at least 5 different types in there. It was crazy because I went to the hill at the country park, the Nora Country Park, and they were coming up with little red ones. There were little red ones, not many. And then further up on the slope, on the left and in front of me, yellow plums everywhere. There's literally loads, tiny little yellow plums everywhere. But I only picked the red ones up because there's just so many and they're getting old. And then another part of the site, there were this size and they were purple. And as I was standing there, the wind was blowing and this tree was covered and the wind was blowing and they're literally falling off the tree in front of me. And then before that, I was in another place and it was much similar. You had yellow plums, slightly bigger though, and then you had other ones that were yellow with pinky orange spots on. Pinky orange spots, and then there were little dark purple plums and little purpley pink plums. So there's all kinds, there's so many different kinds of plums over there, and I just basically got a variety of them. It's a mixed bag, to be honest. Right, I can do a test, but I still would have liked to have left it a bit longer, but I think with this caramel smell, I think I'm just gonna have to get on with it, to be honest. Ow! Oh, fuck. Oh, this is a nasty batch. Oh. Oh. Yeah. How strange. Definitely looks like it's... I don't understand it. Yesterday's batch didn't seem to do this, but on the spoon itself, it's more than... It's definitely a more orangey brown colour. And that brown can only come from caramel, which is burnt sugar, which is, oh dear. It's definitely ready. I can tell it's already, at that point it's ready. But I was hoping for a better, more uniform colour. I can already tell now that it's already ready for jarring. I'm glad as well because I don't want to keep burning myself. And this is a messy batch. It really is a messy batch. And I didn't put any different amounts of sugar than I did yesterday. So it must purely be the plums themselves. I'll have to remember that in future if I make plum jam from the plums in that particular location again in the future. I have to remember to cook it at a slightly lower heat because the sugar content's going to be a bit higher. Got some hot fig compote on my hand. Oh god, flipping heck. Hot fig compote on my hand. It was really hot. I just had two literally on my wrist. Oh my god. Tiny, but it hurt. Oh boy. But I don't know how much lower I can turn this thing. I really don't. Oh boy. Right, jars. More jars. I'll give that another rinse. Get these jars open. Oh, the mess that this batch has made, honestly. It's not bad, but it has been splattering. And about 6 to 8 of them have actually hit me. And oh, God, it flipping hurts. Let's see how many we get out of it. I have a feeling we might have 5 jars worth. Oh. That's not the cleanest one, I'm afraid. What about this one with the chilies in it? We've got one in there with dried chilies in. That's a bit cleaner, but it's still not brilliant. We've got some spiced ethnic tea in a jar. Yeah, we've got some spiced ethnic tea. It's a shame we didn't have something else to put it in, to be honest. Chamomile tea. Well, it says there chamomile anyway. I can just stuff these into a mug up here. I've got a really big mug up there. I'll just stuff them in this big mug. I may not need them, to be honest, but I'm going to rinse them out anyway. Probably getting water everywhere. I'll put that one at the back because I might not actually use it. Whoa, shit. Almost had me again. Right, I think we're pretty much done, to be honest. Have to say I'm slightly disappointed at the caramelisation, but I think that's just because the fruit themselves had a higher content of sugar and it topped it out of what I'd already given them, or too much sugar, natural as well as what I put in. But at least I didn't have to wait as long to get rid of the additional water. And it's very stiff and bubbly. It's definitely ready. So, well, I'll turn it off now. That is it. That's that boiled up. That's that finished. Right. So it's a case of waiting a few minutes. And then we pour it into the jars, and then we've done it again, basically. We've done it again. Right, let's see if we move this down again. Oh, and we're back and resting. Oh dear. I was feeling a bit, his fermium's just turned up. He's spending a lot of time with me. Esma Florine's in the front room, in the living room. She's just sleeping, basically. She's snoozing. Fermium is the one that's giving me the attention at the moment. But then he's only a young boy. In cat years, he's a teenager. He's a young boy. And he's off again. Well, he's sitting on the doormat now. The cat sat on the doormat. But he's been very sensible. He's not gone outside too much. He's not wandered off. And this is two different places. Remember, he's been at the Olds flat. He was born at the Olds flat in Old Town, and he's used to the garden there. And I've also brought him here as well. So he's literally got used to two different places, and he's sticking around here. But yeah, I've turned the heat off of the jam now. It's just a case of waiting maybe about 5 minutes, and then I'll start pouring it into the jars. And as you know, I've done the test. It's looking like a reddish orangey brown, and I think the brown has come from the caramelization of the sugars, basically. So yeah, I think next time if I do it again, I'll have to remember to cook these particular plums, foraged plums from the country park, at a lower heat, a lower temperature, because obviously it's caramelizing. Don't necessarily want that, but there's the tester, and it is not moving at all. It's not moving at all. That is solid. That is solid stuff. That is very, very, very solid. I just had one of the fennel seeds, crunching on the fennel seed. It does help to cut through the bitterness of the plum and the sugar. Very strong, but this is a lot stiffer than the first batch. Definitely. Yeah. Because I remember yesterday it was a bit worrying, because for a moment I didn't think it was actually going to set, and I had to add a little bit more sugar, and then I had to boil more moisture off. But this one, there was no issue with that. If anything, it was completely the opposite. It actually started to I could feel it when I was moving the wooden spatula on the bottom. It was rumbling, so there was some burning, on a slight amount of burning on the bottom of the pan. It was like, oh, flipping heck. And I didn't notice too much of that on yesterday's batch, to be honest. Making plum jam basically in the gaff. And now all is quiet over there. It's now quiet, so we should be able to pour it into the jars imminently. Why is there a load of ham sitting on the top of the... Fucking hell. I've got some ham just sitting on top of the fridge. It should be in the fridge. Oh. You come to say hello again, eh? Huh? Yeah, you the boy? Mm. 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 He's a good boy. Mm. 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 Yeah. Mm. Oh yeah. Oh. Right. Okay. Oh, we've got to lift this up again, have we? I think we might have to. Hopefully no disasters. Right, because we're literally, and this is likely to be a bit stiffer coming out the pot because of the caramelisation. Or actually maybe not, but anyway. Yeah, there's definitely a bit of rumbling on the bottom. Stuff is stuck to the bottom. Definitely stuff is stuck to the bottom. We can't say we didn't have a lot of plums in there because we did. Not only did we have what we started with, but I found extra. Oh boy. And here we go, wish me luck. God, this is a lot thicker than yesterday's. Whee! This is a lot thicker than yesterday's. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa! Cool, blimey. Yeah, it's a lot different. Yeah, this is, you can see at the bottom, sadly it has burned a little bit on the bottom of the pan, which is a bit sad. That's one. Yeah, it has burned a little bit on the bottom of the pan, this batch. I didn't give it any different treatment. I really didn't. I think we might get 3, maybe 4 out of it. Well, that wasn't too bad. Let's see if we can get 4 out of it. We brought our cats different places. If they stay with viewers, no problem. Compot in the fridge. Made some space for it. Yes, this jam's going to be a lot more stiff than yesterday's. Look at that. God blimey. Can I get a 4th jar? Oh, I may just get 4 jars. That's 1 down on yesterday. Which is a surprise. I didn't think we'd actually be down. I thought we'd equal that or beat it, but we're obviously not. Good luck. Can we get a full jar out of this? Look at the back of that, not good. That is definite sign of burning. So we've got 4 jars and a little bit. No, that's a bit sad really. I didn't think it would get burned like that. And I didn't really treat it any different. I really didn't. I think it was just a case of the fruits had much more sugar content of their own. we've got 4 and 4 and I don't know, 1/5 of a jar, maybe 1/3 of a jar, 4 and 1/3 of a jar, and the bottom of that pan is fucked. Not good. That is going to take some soaking, I tell you. Yeah, so not 100% a success. As you can see, we've got caramelizing and a bit of burning on the bottom of the pan, which I didn't really expect to have today. I didn't treat it any different than I did yesterday, so it must be the fruit themselves. Clearly the Victoria plums don't have as much sugar content as the foraged ones that I found in the last couple of days. Them different varieties of plums, they were much softer. You couldn't really cut them into halves and then take the stone out. They just mushed. So it is clear that they had a much higher natural sugar content than the Victoria plums. And that is going to be a nightmare to fucking get out, I tell you. Yeah, that's going to be a bit of a nightmare to... I'm going to have to soak that for days and days and days. Ah, what a shame. Dropped a clanger. Oh, to think yesterday's batch went so well and today's batch was a little bit of a flop, to be honest. Slightly. Didn't expect it to burn like that on the bottom. I've had some of it. It's sweet, it's tart. You can taste the fennel, the aniseed coming through, but unfortunately there is a bit of caramelization. You can taste a bit of the burning. So yeah, it's sadly not a perfect batch. Oh dear. Yeah, that's what I've done. I've filled it up. I've filled it with water. I'm letting it soak, basically. Yeah. I'm letting it soak, but that's pretty bad. Oh dear, oh dear. Well, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 and almost a half. Well, pretty much a half. So I've got 4.5 jars of batch 2, which are okay, but a bit caramelized, which is a little bit on the disappointing side, to be honest. So next time I'll have to remember to cook it at a slightly lower temperature and maybe not add quite so much sugar. Even though what I added today was only equal to what I put in yesterday. So just shows you really, doesn't it, that I've mentioned it time and time again. But all them variety different plums were completely different to the Victorias that I done yesterday. Completely different. Much more natural sugar content in them. But yeah, I've basically I've put this pot to soak, but it's going to be a nightmare to clean this, I'm afraid. it looks like it's going to be a nightmare. Oh, I'm going to have trouble cleaning this pot out. Lots of trouble. Anyway. Oh, thanks for joining me for Plum Jam Part 2, even though this batch looks like it's going to be covering carrots or some other kind of nondescript cooking method, because it's definitely, oh no, we'll have to see when it's set and it's cold. I'll try it again, but I can definitely taste the caramelisation. Anyway, we're at 1 hour 41 minutes. Yesterday was 3 hours. I think we're gonna, excuse me, I think we're gonna end it there. Luckily this one didn't last quite so long. Give us a thumb up if you like, and I have got other videos to go up, normal videos. Again, it depends how I feel, my frame of mind, concentration. It may be Gaia videos. Oh yeah, I've got a couple of videos coming up. I went to a gig with Tony P. We went to Farnborough Village. We went to the Change of Horses, and we went to a gig there. He only took his guitar, he played one song. He was playing guitar for one song, but I'd done some video of a young guy playing a fiddle or a violin. I've done 2 videos out of what he did in his set. The first one was good. The second one was some kind of Irish jig, and he went stupid. Unbelievable, this young kid with this fiddle or violin. I think it was a fiddle. But I've got a couple of videos coming up of a young lad playing a fiddle, and my God, he was very good indeed. There's probably more Gaia videos, Gaia Online. We'll have to see. I never had enough figs to cook with, so it looks like you might have actually done better than me. Yeah, I've done what I set out to do, but I think, yeah, I need to learn from mistakes. This particular batch, and boil at a lower heat and not add quite so much sugar, because these plums are a bit different to the Victoria plums that I've cooked yesterday. Yeah, so I think we're gonna end it here now. I need to get to the gaff, not the gaff, I need to get to the old flat. I need a shower, I need a rest. I'm gonna scoff that burrito, and then might watch some Twitch streams, and then get some sleep, and then tomorrow I'm meeting a cousin. It was very strange male cousin from the father's side, but we're getting on a bit now. We're a bit older now, so hopefully he's slowed down a bit. I see how I feel tomorrow morning. Anyway, we're gonna end it here. Thanks for joining me. I've had pretty much consistently had 2 people watching. I don't know who the second one was. It may have been Tickle Tetra, but he hasn't said much more. With Hermoine, naturally we are not at America prime time. The majority of people watching seem to be American, and I'm GMT, so I'm literally hours and hours and hours and hours out from their prime time. It doesn't matter. I've done the video, I've done the live. It will go up. It will go up. It will be processed. It will go up, and people can watch it later. but it's not as in depth as yesterday. You didn't see me cutting all the fruit up. I'd already pre squeezed and cut the fruit up, and the fruit were a bit different. As you can tell, the fruit were not the plums weren't the same as the pure Victoria plum I'd done yesterday. This mixture on the high heat wasn't really favourable. I need to remember to, if I do it next year or the year after, to keep it on a slightly lower heat and maybe not quite add so much sugar. Just add the pectin sugar and not so much of the normal sugar. Let the plums do their work basically. I didn't have any issue with extra boiling off extra moisture. I was doing all right in that department, but it got to a point where I ended up to keep turning it down. Her mind told me to turn it down, but I think by then it was already too late because of the content of sugar inside the plums themselves. But we'll leave this stuff to cool. I'll give it another go later, taste it later. But it's definitely not banging like the last batch was. And look who we've got, it's Fermy Boy! Yes! Fermy Boy! It's the Fermy Boy. Look who it is. Yeah, smell-o-vision. No, we haven't got smell-o-vision, I'm afraid. Oh. Anyway, we're going to end it here. Thanks for joining me for a second venture into Plum Jam. This was entire plum with a bit of the fennel seed. Unfortunately, the fennel seed can't negate the caramel taste. The caramel taste is quite dominant, and the fennel seed can't break through that. So it was not exactly a perfect success in this batch, but I've made it. It's been done, and it's usable. But the other batch that I made yesterday, which was Victoria plum, elderberry, there was lemon juice in there as well, and the fennel seeds. This one is top notch shit right here. Well, thanks everyone. I'm going to make a move now because I'm probably going to have to seal up these jars. I'm going to have to go to the old's flat and do what needs to be done. I'll catch you on the next video, probably a normal video. Look, well, I'll try and do an update on the garden. I'll try and do an update on the old's flat garden. Quite a bit has changed there. One thing I do need to do, I need to cut the grass out the front of the old's flat garden. That needs to be done. It needs to be trimmed. The one and only industrial hemp plant that's out the front is a lot bigger than I expected it to be. Last year's one, it went up. It was quite thin and skinny. It budded, and it got to October. I cropped it and basically used it for herbal teas. Fiona got some industrial hemp bud for smoking, but this plant is a lot bigger, and I've been tipping it. I've been cutting tips off simply for making herbal tea, but the size is still visible to. I mean, people still think that hemp is cannabis and hemp is marijuana. It's not. Hemp is related. But if you look at this hemp plant, it's got 3 leaves. It doesn't have 5 leaves. This is hemp, industrial hemp, and yet people look at it, they still think it's cannabis. And I wouldn't even know how to roll a fucking joint. I don't even know how to roll a fucking joint. I'm not going to smoke it, am I? I'm only gonna add leaves and stuff like that to herbal tea. That's all I'm gonna do with it, unless I give some to old bitey Fiona down the road. But I've got to get this plant through another 2 months yet, and it's a lot bigger than last year's. The last one last year, we had rain and it literally fell over. But this was literally shortly before harvest time. So because it was almost diagonal, it wasn't really visible. But this one is next to the birch tree I put in, is upright, it's strong. And even though I've cut bits off of it, it's obvious what it is. It is a hemp plant, but people are still making the mistake. They're ignorant, thinking that it's actually cannabis. It's not cannabis. But I still got to pray that it gets to October. Yeah, well, this is the problem they will notice, because it's ground into the psyche of people. You know, they see something. We just have to see. And even if it does disappear, at least I've picked off some of the I've cut off little bits. I've compacted it, so I'm drying them upstairs just to make herbal tea, to be honest. And I've got a little bit left of what was from last year. I've not really used the last of it. Anyway, to do it. Why is it telling me I'm live? I know I'm live. Oh God. Anyway, I hope to do in the next few days a video, an update of the old flat garden, the greenhouse. I've made a new planter out of a stainless steel metal trough that I found in the brambles at the abandoned dentist villa. I found a stainless steel trough there, and a light bulb. That's the only thing I came away with, that and a light bulb. Everything else I just done video, but I had a light bulb away, and a stainless steel trough that I ended up turning into a planter. Wait! So I'll be showing that. That's firming. Right, I'm gonna end it here. Still got 2 people. I've got some wet crap on my face. I don't know what it is. And I'll catch you on the next live, or I'll be putting up other videos. Lord knows what they'll be. I've actually got some shorts as well. I'm not sure if I'll put them. I might put them up. One is Curry Games played Roblox, and it's very hilarious and very screamy. And there's another one that's a bit shouty as well, so a bit jump scary. We'll have to see. And I'm going to end it here. I'm going to seal up these jars. Finally. Shame they got a bit caramelized, to be honest. Yeah, it's a shame, really. I'll leave them because they're a bit more full and they're still a bit hot. But that half jar, I've sealed it, and I'll catch you later. Thanks for joining me. I think I've had 2 or 3 people. 2 I know have been watching on average, and I'll catch you later on another live or normal videos. So DJ's signing out. And Fermium Ludwig Stormerson.